Hey, good morning, everyone. It is 11 o'clock, just after 11 this morning on October 29th. And I wanted to speak with you a little bit about one of our Democratic candidate running for mayor. Several of you have reached out to us and have asked, hey, is there a reason why Zohran will not speak with us? And I was like, well, there's a couple of really good reasons why Zohran won't speak with us. And well, he's running on a campaign and he says he's not owned. The city's not for sale. He's not for sale. How is it possible? He's just not going to speak with you. I mean, he's a socialist. He should help us. And I said, yes, absolutely. You're 100% right. And I said, you know what? It's time. What I'd like to explain to all of you is exactly why we believe Zohran Mamdani, who is a Democratic candidate running for New York City mayor, is not communicating with the largest municipal retiree group in the city of New York. We are the people. We are the workers. This is who he should be speaking with. And someone says, well, he's a socialist. He won't privatize your Medicare. I don't only have one issue. What you're not familiar with is the older New Yorkers have a lot of issues. There's a lot of concerns that they need to know that someone hears them, whether they agree with them or not, right? Because you could speak with anyone, even you may not like them, even if you don't agree with them. And I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that as well. He can't run, and I'm sure many of you have seen this image. New York is not for sale, right? Well, I said, well, if New York isn't for sale and he's not for sale, then why is he not communicating with us? And I think we've laid it out. Watch this. So this morning on Twitter, Chris Sommerfeld actually puts this post up that even though 300,000 New Yorkers have already cast ballots for Mamdani, he continues to decline to offer an opinion on a set of housing-related referendum questions up for a vote for Tuesday's election, an indication of how politically fraught the issue is for him. I don't think it's politically fraught. Let me explain why. When I saw this, actually this came out last night, I made a response. I was like, and no one answered the question. I had the answer. So my answer to this was, I'll tell you why he won't offer an opinion. The same reason why he won't talk to New York City retirees. He doesn't want to alienate the people who are supporting him right now. DC37 told Zohran if he supports retirees, he will lose support of DC37. Watch. Zohran does not agree with the city council speaker and its progressive members, and he doesn't want them to know that he supports stripping away their power in the proposals, which is why the speaker has been hitting every news circuit there is. It's called self-preservation, Chris, and I'm referring to Chris Sommerfeld, the senior reporter from the New York Daily News City Hall division. I said, and it also tells me Zohran is already owned. And how can I say this? I'm just going to lay this out. Let's go back to 2014. This was an announcement that the United Federation of Teachers had just negotiated their contract with the city of New York. And you'll see in this photo that you have Michael Mulgrew from the UFT, Dean Fulihan, who was first deputy mayor, as well as Office of Management. He'd been Office of Management and Budget. Bob Lynn, who was the Office of Labor Relations Director, who had negotiated these agreements with the union and for the city. And then, of course, here in the right, you have Bill de Blasio. I can't tell you how Bob has voted. Bob is at the microphone, but I can tell you how Michael Mulgrew, Dean Fulihan, and Bill de Blasio all right now support Zohran Mamdani. Now, this 2014 deal, many of you will recognize because this was the very, very first time that the city of New York negotiated a deal with an active union that was put on the backs of other active workers. Michael Mulgrew's UFT contract was partially funded on the backs of other union members and retirees. This was also the start of forcing retirees into Medicare Advantage. Now, this is a photo from 2014's press announcement. I want to now go to the next image of the New York Times that came out in August. This shows you the inner circle. Down here is a little cut off is Dean Fulihan. So he's inside the circle of this campaign. Here you have Henry Garrido, Bill de Blasio, and the United Federation of Teachers endorsing Zohran Mamdani. Now, let's go back one more time, because now where we're going to start to draw the lines is exactly where Zohran is literally owned by special interests. He can't keep claiming to say New York is not for sale, because it absolutely is for sale. I've showed you all of these people that endorsed him, that started the deal where they were leveraging workers and leveraging retirees to finance contracts literally on the backs of other people. In the primary, District Council 37 came out. They endorsed Adrian Adams, the Speaker of the Council, as one, Zohran Mamdani as number two, and Zelner Myrie as number three. Do you know what these three candidates have in common? Let me tell you. These are the only three candidates in the Democratic Party that did not support protecting a municipal retirees' benefits, their federal public health benefit of Medicare that they earned and paid for their entire life, the statutorily required Medicare B reimbursement, as well as the city-paid supplemental plan because it was under the cap. City retirees have been in court for the last 4 years protecting their benefits. Why? Because the Speaker, Adrian Adams, has refused to take a position. Why? Because she's owned by DC37. They helped her get elected to the speakership. Remember that this union made all of those deals and begged all of the other council members that had a better chance of running as for speaker, that were running for speaker, encourage them to back off to let her be the first Black speaker of the city council, and then even had her there, the DC37's political action director, Jeremy John, be her chief of staff. This showed from the beginning that Adrian could not be trusted. So now here, of all of the Democratic candidates you had, and this was for the primary, these three were the only three that did not support protecting a retiree. Zelner Myrie flat out refused to even speak with us. Zohran Mamdani is still not communicating with our organization to this day. Adrian Adams, you all know exactly where she stands on this one. So now I'm laying this out to you, but there's more. And I know you think, wait, there's more. There absolutely is more. Watch this, because now we're going to connect the rest of the dots. In March of 2025, DC37 held its meeting. At the time, they were very frustrated with council members that were supporting retiree legislation to protect the healthcare benefits of retirees. This was important because we've been fighting this in court for 4 years. 2/3 of our retirees from DC37 make under $35,000 pensions. Listen, let me say that again to you, because some of the messages that people on our socials have been sending us have been downright rude, accusing elderly folks of staying alive too long, preventing these young people from having apartments. 2/3 of our DC37 retirees make a pension under $35,000 a year. 1/3 of them make a pension under $12,000 a year. No. We earned our right in this city. We earned our right in this state. We earned our right to be alive. We worked our ass off to have absolutely everything that we have today. So to tell me that it's okay or I should go die, and some of the comments that you guys have sent were absolutely ugly. You told us die boomer. You said we should go away, go play shuffleboard. Don't you have somewhere to go? We are the elders of this community. And if you remember, it was Mahatma Gandhi that literally said that it is the test of any society on how they treat their most vulnerable population. One of my oldest retirees is 104 years old. And some of you people wished her dead so you could have her apartment. Guess what? She can't afford an apartment. She doesn't make enough money. She lives with her family. So to listen to some of the comments on our socials that are coming out from people who are supposed to want to have this young man as mayor, and yet this young man has not communicated with us or even heard about these issues. Here in March, District Council 37 had a meeting. This was about Intro 1096, which was our legislation. Notice it says DC37 Delegates Meeting Minutes, March 19th of 25. It talks about our legislation. Councilman Chris Marte introduced a bill that requires the city to maintain the same level of retiree healthcare benefits going back to 2021. Well, why would you diminish, or you'd have a problem with diminishing a benefit to a municipal retiree who built your union, built this city after 9/11, rebuilt this city? And so you should say, God bless Chris Marte for protecting our retirees to make sure that the city doesn't want to diminish their health benefits in retirement, because that's common sense, right? He says, point two, the bill doesn't identify a single source of funding. And that's absolutely wrong. The bill does identify funding. Why? Because it's literally a subsection of the original legislation known as 12-126 that says the city will pay the full cost of health coverage up to the HIP HMO. The HIP HMO is $1,000 individual. What is the supplemental plan cost? $200. So my former union, DC37, led by Henry Garrido, is okay with me being thrown under the bus because he got his raise deal that I don't benefit from. That's another problem. DC37 is opposed to this because, as we see it, the way to pay for it is for the city to have active members and pre-Medicare members pay premiums of $1,500. Well, Henry, if that was really a threat, then all the unions should have got together, and it's union power with the power of collective action, Henry, because we're supposed to be good unionists and fight back on being charged something. But hey, you made the deal. You should eat the deal. Hold on, gets better. Here, Delegate Local 1320, Tom Kustance, proposed a resolution to cease any donation to any council member who support Intro 1096. Delegate Local 3005, Samantha Rappa Giovagnoli, made a motion, second by Delegate Local 372, Donald Nesbitt, to approve the resolution. They're all DC37 local presidents. After much discussion to any council member who supports Intro 1096, the bill that would protect a vested benefit to a municipal retiree that retired from this union. Wait, it gets better. Here's another one. Delegate Local 372, Donald Nesbitt, made a motion, second by Local 1655, Magali Rosario, to unendorse Alexa Aviles because of her support for Intro 1096. The delegate body approved the motion of DC 37 will unendorse Alexa Aviles. Now, there was a meeting when they were doing the endorsements for the mayoral candidates. And what did they say? And we had people in that meeting. They said the same thing. They carried the motion over. If Zohran Mamdani wanted to support New York City retirees, he would lose the endorsement of DC 37. He would also lose the financial support and the campaigning known as boots on the ground that unions do. So they said, where do you stand on this? Mind you, I have not heard back from Zohran's camp after the initial communication that we had with his staff. I have emailed El Bisgard Church multiple times. I have called them. Our lobbyist has called them. So now you're telling me, wait a second, he puts up this constant poster. New York's not for sale. Of course, New York's for sale. He just had the biggest bidding of one of the biggest unions in the city of New York. Now, if endorsements weren't all that important to him, if it's not supposed to be, he says endorsements are not important to him. When did he say that? The other day.
And the media that covers it is often focused on the question of endorsements. Right. And it's part of what gave Cuomo the sense of inevitability in the primary. Mm-hmm. He just seemed to pick up all of these different endorsements. And I think what we showed in many ways was that the days of endorsements deciding elections, those days have come to an end. It's the people that build up a campaign.
Yeah, so it's not about endorsements, but you're not willing to speak to one of the most vulnerable populations who built this city, rebuilt this city, who are elderly, many disabled, line of duty widows, and their spouses, right? That's not something that so then why wouldn't you want to speak to this organization? Because you are really wanting the endorsement of District Council 37, and you want all of their members doing their canvassing and their phone banks. You even, in the same interview with Jon Stewart, talked about having 90,000 volunteers. But wait, it gets better. It's not about just that. Remember, we said we should be willing to talk to people that we don't agree with. They don't want to talk to us. That's okay. It's okay that maybe you don't like me. It's okay that you think I'm too old. You're not interested in our conversation, but you can, and I've seen you do this. You've talked to some of the people that you had not agreed with and even attacked early on in your campaign. You have Eric Dim and John McCarry, who run the Finest Unfiltered podcast. It's a very popular podcast among retirees and active NYPD. This would definitely be a subset of people you would not agree with. I think lately more you're trying to make friends with the NYPD as you do realize you need their vote. But here's a clip of an interview in which was pretty impressive in what you said. Listen to this.
It's a universal issue. And actually, I really appreciate what you're saying, Eric, about having a chance to have a conversation, because I'm happy to answer any and all questions. I also actually had a few that I wanted to ask both of you to get a better sense, just specifically about
absolutely your floor.
What the NYPD bureaucracy has looked like, especially administration to administration, and if you've seen any differences over the course of the Adams administration, and whether from de Blasio to Adams.
So Zohran Mamdani and his campaign, if you're listening, you have proved you have tolerance. You have proved you could speak to people even if you don't agree with them. I have proved today that the people that are currently on your inner circle and in your team, the United Federation of Teachers, DC37, Dean Fulihan, Bill de Blasio, are all on your team. We're all people that screwed us. New York City retirees, the largest municipal retiree organization in the city of New York, in the state of New York. And yet you have shown that you have the ability to meet with people that you might not agree with. I have to keep highlighting this. And we also showed that largest union that's in your hip pocket is the one that told you, if you support those retirees, we will not support you any longer and will unendorse you. So for anyone that's listening, that's still a doubter and keeps attacking our organization as to why we keep saying Zohran is not supporting us or not communicating with us, big deal, lady, he's a socialist, he'll give you your Medicare. No, it's not about that. It is about discussing the concerns. Has he been able to discuss all of the issues that we have, that seniors have, with transportation affordability, the co-pays that Eric Adams put on us, that's putting many of our retirees in medical debt? How will he handle them and when will they be handled? We have a right to ask those questions. And if it's about a policy issue, we have health policy experts that are CUNY retirees or active CUNY adjuncts that would love to have these conversations with him. We should have those answers because he should want our vote. Ignoring us doesn't get us there. And those are votes left on the table, which is why this organization keeps inviting all three candidates to our events. We invited them to the April debate. Zohran initially said he would come, and then he backed out. Zellner Myrie said he'd come, then he backed out. Adrian never said she'd come. We kept trying to get them to do a show with us and come on our channel and speak to our members. They still didn't come. We had Andrew Cuomo and Curtis Lewa both communicate to retirees, both hand-signed a pledge of committing to the three issues and open communication so that they would communicate with our members because they thought it was important. It is quite apparent exactly why the leading Democratic candidate for the city of New York's mayoral election doesn't want to speak to a retiree. Someone actually in the chat said no answer is an answer, and you are absolutely correct. But here, I believe in giving you the goods. I believe in bringing receipts, and this is where it is. So now you have everything. Make sure you vote. Make sure you get out. Make sure you never stop asking the questions. Make sure every time and every opportunity that you have, you speak up and you say to someone, why are you not addressing this? Why are you not speaking to our organization? Where do you sit on all of these issues? Our organization isn't just about Medicare, but if you can't talk to me about our earned invested Medicare benefits and all the other issues an older New Yorker has, you're telling me you're not really able to discuss that. And so back to Chris Sommerfeld, who made that post last night about why Zohran will not answer the question. It's because he doesn't want the truth to come out because he's afraid he will lose the support of the people that he will disagree with. We should be a bigger society than that. Have a great day, everyone. Enjoy your afternoon. I will see you on our channel on Friday Night Live on Friday.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end. In this life you know you can't pretend. The days pass by, they've set in stone. But it's not too late now for you to change your tone.